What is up, everyone? I say this every single time. It has been way too long, but I am back with an update and a little story of something incredible that I got to experience yesterday. So we're going to sit at the back of the coach, have a coffee, and tell a story. All right, everyone. It has been an incredibly busy pandemic, bounce back from the pandemic, career changes, and so on. If you have me on Instagram, you would know that we had the long anticipated arrival of our daughter. So she's now 4 weeks old, and the adjustment to dad life has been absolutely invigorating and incredible. Has not left a lot of time to do bus stuff. So we were able to do a bit of work at the house, widen the driveway, bring all the vehicles home. And so now, between the two of us, I am able to find more time to come out and do things to the MC9 to get it ready for the summer and some fun cruises and family trips. So one of the biggest things that I had to get off my plate was I wanted to put a DVD player in. So my whole purpose with this coach is to keep it period correct. But I have a lot of older films and movies on DVD. So I was able to actually get an AC/DC DVD player and replace the one that was in the coach when it was in service 15 years ago. And I was able to get the audio run into the original RCA cables. So I didn't have to install an external speaker or anything of the sort. So I got that done, and I now have an odd issue where my headlights blew. I turned my headlights on, and they just blew, high beams, blew. I have no headlights. I've taken them apart. I've put a voltmeter on them. I don't know exactly how they're wired up in a series or whatever that term would be. So I'm wondering if my first headlight was bad, if it caused a short and blew the rest, or vice versa. But that's my next little project, is to get the front end taken apart again, get the headlights out, put the voltmeter on it. Because it's a 24 volt coach, but the headlights are 12. So I need to make sure that whatever reduces that voltage isn't malfunctioning before I put brand new headlights in there and blow those too with 24 volts. So it's coming along. It's looking great. All the seats were shampooed. The walls were washed. The floor was done. I am incredibly happy with this coach. And I got a call from a producer who lives just outside of Los Angeles. This was 6 months ago. I got this call, and they were doing a local production here in Canada, and they caught wind of, me and the MC9, and the storyline of the film is very touching. Hits close to home. It's about a relative of his, or it's inspired by a relative of his who was also gay. And I just wanted my coach to be appreciated and be utilized. So we made a deal, and he then says, okay, I got something for you. I need a second coach. Another one. So on Instagram, I follow Orion Picture Bus, and this is a newer interaction that I've had, and we follow each other, and they seem very busy with being on productions and sets and rentals with transit buses, vintage buses, and they have an MC9. And I put this producer in touch with Orion, and not only do they seem busy, they are busy. It is Sean Lucas's full-time job, getting to appreciate, cherish, preserve, and utilize his very eclectic and vintage fleet of coaches. So the production company and Orion Picture Bus made a deal, and they traveled about 4 hours from Hamilton, Ontario, up to Ottawa with an MC9. And believe it or not, the serial number of this MC9 is the first production MC9 that MCI sold. So I took a picture of the VIN plate and did a little bit of digging, and sure enough, it is the first one sold off the assembly line. And fortunately, like my coach, it was never gutted, it was never stripped, it was never turned into a hunt camp or a tiny home or whatever it is that the general population thinks every bus must live out their life as. So if one more person tells me that I should convert this, I will probably rip off my shirt and drown myself in honey and just run around and scream, because I can't take any more people telling me to give up on what I'm doing to go into a completely different direction. So it was an absolute honor and privilege to meet Sean Lucas yesterday and to see this coach and to actually get on it. And it has the features of this coach. It was built by MCI, and it was sent to a third-party outfitter where it got some chrome trinkets up front on the dash. It got the TVs installed with pneumatic trays to hide the CRT TVs, which Sean is upgrading. So there's currently nothing in the trays, but the trays all still function. It's an 8V71 with an automatic. Mine is a 6V92 with a 5-speed fuller. And we had a blast doing this project, and it was so much fun riding on the first produced MC9 out of shot while mine, driven by my father, rolls into the shot. It was a very fun way to end a Friday, and kind of lit that fire back in my belly of getting back into the bus scene and back on here and do more bus stuff, especially now that I've accomplished a few little projects with mine and getting it detailed and getting the DVD player working and whatnot. So his is a 1979 MCI MC9 AA, first off the production line. Some things that are different than mine is he has a carpeted interior, whereas I have the vinyl plastic red finished floors. He's got very plush seats. I have the seats here that you can reverse with a table. Again, tabletop is from Getaway Tours in Michigan. Thank you, Tim. He actually has 3 sets of chairs that rotate up near the front, and his rear row does not actually have this table bracket. So we had a lot of fun going over the coaches and all the differences. I have the chime strip, so I can activate a bell to notify the driver or a tour guide or whatever you may have of a need to stop or some attention on the bus. He doesn't have that. That's deleted out of his rail. Whereas I never knew what it is that would go in these voids, and he has service lights. So he has a plug up on the outside under the electrical panel, and when you plug it into 120 volts like shore power, you get service lights, and completely lights up the interior of the coach for cleaning or deboarding at a bus terminal. So it was a lot of fun. It was very cool. I don't want to give away too much of his coach because I'm hoping to go back down there and visit him in the fleet and do a thorough walkthrough and get the whole history of his coach and the preservation of his. But I just can't believe that there are these 2 fully seated, operational, plated, insured, running, driving, stopping MC9s that are ready to go 4 hours apart from one another in Canada. So my coach lived out its life in Alberta, Canada, in the west, and his coach was a California bus originally running the western seaboard, and he bought it from Spokane, Washington. So both of our coaches had full lives out west and have come back to Ontario they have come to Ontario for retirement. So that is kind of the lowdown on my coach and the excitement yesterday. So this is a little teaser of what's to come this summer. I'm making a concerted effort to get back onto YouTube here, utilize this channel, and have a really good purpose and excuse to play with the coach and get out there and get some therapy. So I hope everyone's doing well. Have a great day. See you soon. And please be sure to follow this, subscribe to this channel, and follow Orion Picture Bus. And if you're not already on mine, look up Shamrock Sean on all the platforms. Have a good day.